Hello guys, my name is Michael, and today we are going to work with another two functions which you can apply them to your labels. And the function which I'm talking about are GTK-label set pattern and GTK-label set markup. Those are also important. I don't know how important is this for you, but I wanted to show you because you can do a lot of things with this tool. But let me show you both and how you can use them. So the first one, let's see, GTK-label set pattern. I already have it here. Says it's a void function which doesn't return something and takes two parameters. The first, as you can see, is the label, and the second is pattern. And the function says the pattern of underlines you want under the existing text within the GTK-label widget. For example, if the current text of the label says full bars, passing a pattern of this one will underline full bars but not bar. What this means, let's see. Let's call this function. GTK label, because we need to cast it. You already know that. Our label. And second one is the pattern. Okay, so let's see. We have two words here. So I need to put a pattern, let's say the first three here and the first three here. Okay, so this means I have 1, 2, 3 underscores, and then 4, 5, 6 spaces, 4, 5, 6 spaces, another 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's see when I run the program now what happens. As you can see, the hello world, we have here two lines which we decided to put them here, and the way you decide and where to put it, you saw how I did. And this is about this function and things you can do with this function, and you just need to play a little bit with it and see which kinds of new tricks you find out. But I'm sure that you see how easy it is and how you can work with this function. Okay, I will drop this function now, and we call this function, which I like it a lot. Even so, you can do things with CSS too, but let me show you something. Before we proceed, we go here, and I already have it. Here says GTK-label set markup, says it is a void function which doesn't return nothing and takes two parameters, the same one like the other one. The first one is the label and the second one is the string, and says parse the string which is marked up with the Pango. I told you about the Pango. Please read about the Pango library because it's very important. It's a good thing you know about Pango. The same thing as I'm strongly suggest you to learn about all information you get there, because you can use them a lot in GTK3 and so on. So it says mark it up with the Pango text markup language, setting the labels text and attribute list based on the parse result. If the string is external data, you may need to escape it with G markup escape. So what this means, we will take this example the way it is here. Okay, so we don't change anything, we just run it the way how it is here. Let me just format it. Okay, so we have our markup here. We don't need to because it's not it's not that important, so I will just drop this one to be just one line. This means the G markup print escape helps you to pass a string here, which you think that it is important to you. A string like, for example, let's say string. Okay, what should I call it? I am Michael, whatever. Okay, so this is the string which you pass it the way it is. I will run the program to see what happens, and says I am Michael. As you can see, with the help of the G markup print f escape, you just need to read about its documentation, and you see the thing you can pass with it and so on. But the most thing here which is important is just only this part where you pass a string or something, and variables also and so on, if you want to change latent to your program and so on. And then after you set what you want to print, then you call this function which you already see it, this one here, and the information we already saw the information which we needed and so on. And after that you need to free yourself your markup which you created, and then you're fine. Okay, well, this is the part when how they showed you, so you need to work with memory too and so on, but it's only if you need to pair something. If you don't need that, there is no you don't need it all the time. So I will drop this part here, because this is only the part which I wanted to show you how they provided it here at the reference site and so on. So let me show you. So like the first one is our GTK label, and the second it will be our string. So you just create it yourself. For example, let's say span, font, for example, I don't know, let's say 25 pixel, for example. Okay, it's okay. So just we let it like this for a second. Okay, so we don't put anything else. Let's create a string here. For example, my name is Michael here, and so, and then next we need to close span, and let's run it the way it is and see what happens. If we run the program to say it is, you see the string is bigger. The same thing, you can set the color, for example, I know here, there, wherever we want to. Color, it is I know, let's say red. I run it and you see that the string, it will be red and so on. Yes, it is red, but I prefer to let it white. Okay, now watch. There is a reference here on the GTK.org API, okay, 2.6 Pango, and here you have the Pango markup format HTML. This means you have information about how you can use those text attribute markups. So here you have some options like font description, font family, face, size, style. For example, if I take now the style here and I drop it here, I can say that I need the style to be let's say oblique, for example, where was here, and then okay, let me drop one because we have two here. You run the program and you see the text is now oblique. I think it works also with double quote if you escape it. I'm not sure, but I think it's working. Well, let me see. Let me drop the single quote here and put a double quote here. So for using a double quote, you need to escape it with backslash, if I'm calling right, and should work fine. See, it works at the same. So no matter if you use one of both. Okay, weight, for example, if you need to have it bold, for example, bold, it says here ultra light, normal bold, ultra bold, heavy. Let's say heavy. Let's say heavy. Okay, and then you set it to heavy, you see here it's much heavier if you can call it like this. And then you have of course the varia, which are normal or small caps, stretch, foreground. Foreground is the different here is, you see there is no color here, so this means the part here with color you don't need it anyway. I think they are not quite working together. Let me see if I'm right. Okay, let's see here, let's call it blue for example. So we call now foreground to blue and we have color to white. Well, let's see what happens here if we call those two functions together, those two markups together. You see, fail to set text. Well, okay, so do the error passing markup, attribute color occurs twice. Okay, so it's not working. This means you have to use this one or this one. It's not important which one. You can stick to this one because it is a markup format which stays here, and as long as these markups are working in GTK, for sure the foreground is working too. So this means you can choose colors, like here one, instead of blue. You can work with this one. You see, now we have different color, whatever. Maybe if you put an A here, will be a little bit blue. I think now it's green. I think now it will be blue. Yeah, or light blue, something, whatever. Okay. Background. This is of course from the name itself. I think you already noticed what it is. Let's say white is the background of the text side, so where the text is blue, it will be on the white. You see, this is a white background. Another thing, yes, of course, there are the underlines which are single, double, low. This is another good thing too. So this means underline, let's call it single. Okay, you will see underline on the background is right here. You don't see good because of that white background, but there is another thing called underline color, which let you to change the underline color to, let's say, black. So now black. Now maybe you can distinguish a little bit better. If you see now is this single line. The same happens if you put in a double line, double. Now you will have a double line here instead of one. Okay, we have a problem, which is yeah, because the double is, no, it's not. Underline double. Okay, now it's what you see, both doubles here. Let me drop the background because it's quite ugly and it makes our program to be much uglier and hard to understand. Okay, now you see both are there, and so on. The thing here is that after you go here and you read all those things, then you will know how it works with this Pango attributes and so on. Pango attributes, this is a good thing for you to know, and probably we'll talk about this in some upcoming or maybe in the next tutorial, because it's a very important thing here. Even if you work with CSS, after you know them both, you will notice where and why should be maybe better for you to work with that. For example, you have here those italic bold, so this means if you drop now where we had the font, let's drop this part and let's drop this part here, as you can see. So you can just do it here with the HTML tags B, and then we close the tag here B, and if I call it now, because we dropped the font style and size and so on, you see it's a little bit bigger. It's not that big because but it is important that you know that it works just fine with the italic tool. So let's drop the oblique part, which is here from the style, and this is things which are important to you. You see how the text it is italic now, it's not normal, as you can we were thinking big also, and a lot of things you can apply to your text when you work with this. You see how big it is now, it is much bigger than before, and so on. Okay, that being said, thank you guys for watching. I think I covered everything you need to know about these two functions, and you learn about the way how you can how can you escape a string. For example, if it happens that you later, after you set a string or a variable or something, and you want to pass it here, you know that to do it you need to create this markup printf escaped. You need to call this function, you create the thing you know you need it here, where you pass your variable, like here the string was passed, and then you can call the GTK-label set markup and create it. And don't forget, by working with this function, please read its reference. You need to free it once that you call it. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, please subscribe and share with your friends and neighbors, and let me know if you need more information or if I made some mistakes, because we are here to learn together. And until next time, see you guys.